Copper, it's social distancing. You can't chase the mailman.
Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Hope you all enjoyed the lesson yesterday talking about World War I and the causes of what led us to that. Today we're going to talk about alliances. So an alliance are two countries or more. We're going to see that these alliances were made out of a lot of different countries. Alliances are kind of your buddies, okay? In your homework today, you're going to have the opportunity to think about if you were a leader of a country, what countries would you want to align with and why? Some people chose because they had big armies. Some countries chose others because they had similar thoughts. And we'll talk about all that today. So these alliances are going to be what springboards us into World War I. So alliances, as tensions continue to grow, some European leaders hoped to protect their countries by creating alliances. An alliance is an agreement between two countries saying, I'll protect you if you protect me. People can back out of alliances, but just know that if you back out of an alliance, you pretty much have an enemy for life. So if you're France and you say, Great Britain, hey, we're buddies, let's be friends, let's align, and then all of a sudden France says, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't feel like that anymore. Great Britain's never going to listen to France again, and that's going to be bad news for France. That doesn't happen. That's just an example. But if one country is attacked, its allies or members of the alliance defend it. And this is really going to help out those smaller countries because we talked about those stockpiles of weapons, and these smaller countries don't have those stockpiles. They don't have the weapons or the army that these large countries have. So these smaller countries are like, hey, can you help the little guy out? In 1882, Italy, Germany, and Austria-Hungary are going to form the Triple Alliance. So it's the three countries, and they formed that first alliance in Europe, and it's known as the Triple Alliance. In response, because you hear a bunch of countries ganging up, you kind of freak out a little bit, right? I mean, France, Great Britain, and Russia are going to create their own alliance, and it's going to be called the Triple Entente. And these alliances effectively divided Europe. So it's really, I know it's really small, but on your slides you can see it as well. Austria-Hungary, Germany, and Italy, they're the Triple Alliance. They're the red. And then the green is the Triple Entente. So I ask in your homework, what disadvantage does the Triple Entente have? Well, if Triple Entente is the green, are the green countries surrounded by each other, or are they kind of in enemy territory? So think about that as you're completing your assignment. Every time. I kind of expect it now. If anyone knows a trick on how to make these slides move on a Mac, please tell me, because I'm really tired of skipping slides. So the spark for war, we've been talking about causes, and all these causes are going to build up until finally one spark and war breaks out in Europe. So by the summer of 1914, all these alliances started in the 1800s. We're now in the 1900s. So these alliances have held true. War in Europe seems certain. 1914, it's tense. You can feel it. You know when you and your friends are about ready to have a huge disagreement, you know it's coming, right? Most of the time, it's not like, whoa, where did that come from? Europe could feel this disagreement coming. Tensions between Austria-Hungary and Serbia. Serbia is another country we haven't talked a whole lot about. Arose over the control of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And Bosnia and Herzegovina was a province of Austria-Hungary and Serbia's neighbor. There were some disagreements about where this province should go. Should it go with Austria-Hungary? Should it go with Serbia? Where did this province fit? On June 28th, 1914, a Serbian assassin shot Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the heir to the throne of Austria-Hungary. So he was going to be the king, so to say, of Austria-Hungary. So Austria-Hungary is involved. Serbia is obviously involved because there was an assassin seeking revenge on the death of their soon-to-be leader. Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. So there it is. War has struck. It's not a world war yet, of course, but this is the beginning, because Austria-Hungary and Serbia, they're going to have alliances. After war is declared on Serbia, Serbia turns to another country. They turn to Russia. And they ask for help because they're a little country. They can't defend themselves. And the alliance system quickly split Europe into two sides. So going back, you know, I don't know. Oh, wait, it took me all the way back to the beginning. Okay. So going back, we see these alliances. In the Triple Alliance, we have Austria-Hungary. But then in the Triple Entente, we have Russia. So Serbia went to the Triple Entente and said, well, we can't go to the Triple Alliance because we're at war with Austria-Hungary. But they go to Russia. So they effectively bring in the Triple Entente. So because of these alliances, hey, it worked. So because of these alliances, all of a sudden all these countries are involved because they said, well, you know, if my ally goes to war, I go to war. On one side was Austria-Hungary and Germany. They were known as the Central Powers. And then on the other side were the Ally Powers, which was Serbia, Russia, Great Britain, and France. So those are the two sides. Central, Austria-Hungary, Germany, Allies, Serbia, Russia, Great Britain, and France. So we have our two sides. World War I has started. Moving on. Hey, it worked on the first try. Yes. Okay. This is the last slide for today. So how does the war get started? Germany is going to strike the first blow. And they send a huge army into Belgium and France. So they send in their troops. They say, well, this has started. We're going to make the first move. Allied troops, however, stopped the Germans just outside of Paris in the east. So they're heading for one of the largest cities in France, of course, is Paris. They're able to stop the Germans from coming into Paris, which could have been horrible for the French. Russia then is going to attack Germany and Austria-Hungary, and Germany's actually going to have to fight on two sides because Russia is coming from one side and then the other allies are coming from the other side. So Germany's actually going to be split into two. They're going to have to fight on this side and they're going to have to fight on this side. And we'll talk more about fighting, weapons, all sorts of things tomorrow. But they thought that this could end quickly. However, we're going to see tomorrow, because of what's called trench warfare, the idea of quick victory, it's gone. There's no way that this war is going to end in a timely fashion. But that is the beginning of World War I. Tensions boiled over until finally that one spark ignited a really, really horrible situation for Europe. So, like normal, there is an assignment. It's a little different than normal, so I hope you guys enjoy it. And I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. I hope you guys are having a great week. Be sure to turn in all your assignments, whether email, Google Classroom, whatever that may be. Don't forget about bell work, guys. Don't forget. And I think that's it for today. So I will see you all tomorrow. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. But see you later.